October 2008, the UK government announced it would inject £45.5 billion into Royal Bank of Scotland to prevent its collapse. £45.5 billion of taxpayer money to save one bank. It was, at the time, the largest bank bailout in history. RBS had a balance sheet of £2.4 trillion, larger than the entire UK economy, and it had been brought to the edge of failure in just over a year. This is how Fred Goodwin became CEO of RBS in 2001. His first major move was the hostile takeover of NatWest, outbidding the Bank of Scotland, integrating the business faster than anyone expected. It worked. RBS grew. Goodwin was celebrated. They called him Fred the Shred, for the costs he cut, for the efficiency he drove, for the way he ran things. He was knighted in 2004. By the mid-2000s, RBS was one of the largest banks in the world, and Goodwin was looking for the next deal. In 2007, ABN Amro, a large Dutch bank, was in play. Barclays had made a recommended offer. RBS put together a consortium, RBS, Santander and Fortis, to make a rival bid. The consortium paid £49 billion. This was the most expensive bank acquisition in history, paid almost entirely in cash, at the peak of the credit bubble, months before the global financial system began to fracture. This is Red Flag 6 from our free guide. Link in the description. An acquisition that cannot be clearly justified on financial grounds. Analysts raised the question at the time, what was RBS actually getting for £49 billion? The answer was an institution with significant exposure to the very assets that were about to become worthless. ABN Amro brought with it structured credit products, subprime exposure, assets that were already deteriorating when the ink was drying on the deal. But the problem wasn't just what RBS bought, it was how stretched it already was. Before the ABN Amro deal, RBS was already operating at leverage ratios that would concern any careful analyst. After it, the core Tier 1 capital ratio, the buffer between the bank and insolvency, fell to levels that left almost no room for error. This is Red Flag 3, debt growing faster than equity. In a bank, this means leverage. At 40-1, a fall of just 2.5% in asset values wipes out all the equity, and asset values were about to fall much more than 2.5%. In 2008, RBS announced write-downs of £28 billion. The pre-tax loss for 2008 was £24.1 billion. At the time, the largest corporate loss in UK history. The rights issue that was supposed to raise fresh capital failed to attract investors. The government stepped in. Fred Goodwin resigned in October 2008. His pension, £703,000 per year, from the age of 50. He eventually agreed to reduce it to £342,500 per year after public pressure. His knighthood was stripped in 2012, one of only a handful of cases in modern history. The share price fell from over £6 to under 11 pence. £45.5 billion of public money went in. The government owned 84% of the bank. An acquisition at a price that couldn't be justified. Red Flag 6. Leverage of 40-1 with no cushion for asset deterioration. Red Flag 3. Goodwill created by the ABN Amro deal that was written down almost in full within a year. Red Flag 2. Off-balance, sheet-structured vehicles carrying risks that weren't fully visible. Red Flag 7. The guide is in the description. Free download. RBS. Founded 1727. Destroyed in 14 months. The knighthood was stripped. The pension was not. Anyway,